This is the place from where I started to speak about the city camp, and this is developed in the book, which is here. Because you have something that looks like exactly the definitions that some sociologist or anthropologist was giving of what is a city in the Chicago school in the beginning of 20th century. Such like a place with heterogeneous and a place with density and heterogeneous original people coming from heterogeneous places with a big density and a concentration of activities. But I say, okay, this is a very dense place, although this is not obvious here, but a very dense place with heterogeneous people from many countries. And I try to understand, although it is generally spoken like a Somali place. You know, the camp, Dadaab camp in Kenya is known as a Somali camp. But actually it's not exactly a Somali camp. It's a camp with a big majority of Somali, 80%, and then all groups from Sudan, from Eritrea, and from Sudan, Eritrea, and Ethiopia, partly. And there is very many changings in the quotidian life of the people. The people are learning new language, people are learning English or the international English. The people are knowing other people from other nationalities or other ethnic groups. There are some weddings which would never have happened if not in the camp. And the camps are also very place of where the people are living very strongly. They are having children, many children. They are creating families very quickly. And then there is nothing about a pessimistic situation in this camp. Although people can be seen as depressive, some people can be seen as in a bad condition, but generally there is many reconstruction of life in this situation. That's why I was saying that what comes after, if we continue the 4 types, the 5th type is the end of the camp, because the logic of this is that the camp must continue to transform, and like an historian, a French historian in the beginning of the 19th century was written the history of the city of Roma, and he said, from learning from this history, he said, from the asylum the city is born. And this is the more logical. The people in the world, they displace, they go from one place to another, and they create new places of socialization. And what we see in these camps is that there is a very important socialization, recreating families, transforming the habitat, creating political and cultural groups. Then logically this gets transformed to something which has to burn. It is something like a city. The point where I am now is when it cannot improve, like we say, when it cannot develop to a city, then it is enclosed inside the ghetto, and the camp which cannot become a city is becoming a ghetto. And I think there is very similarities on the history about the history of the ghettos in any ghetto, in the history or in today's world, and the history of the refuge and of the camps and encampments. Then I will conclude with this, just saying that the project of the Global-Scape of camp is a project to look at the biggest camps in the world, which are Dadaab refugee camp or Kakuma camp in Kenya also, and the camp Kankorai, coral camp in Haiti, which is now something like 80 or 90,000 people in the camp. Then we would say that, we can say that in the world there is, like you can say, the biggest city in the world, yeah, the biggest camp in the world. Now the success is Dadaab, the biggest camp in the world. It is not a Palestinian camp. But there is another part which is the oldest camps in the world today. And then really the Palestinian camps are, I think, among or are the oldest. Then in this project there will be camps from West Bank, the camps which the Palestinian camp in Lebanon, with particular situation, like the camp of Nar al-Bared, which was destroyed by Lebanese police, but which the people rebuilt with a new urbanistic project, and it is a new urban project, and it is really, we are arriving near to something that we can call like a city. Shatila camp in Beirut, which is also a history, a political, urban history of a camp, where now less than half of the population is Palestinian, and the camp doesn't expand because, like here, so it doesn't have the right to expand physically. But there is a neighborhood around the Shatila camp, which is like, we can say there is a new polarity, a kind of urban polarity of the proper camp for, let's say, people in social marginalization, urban marginalization. Among the very old camps in the world, there are also camps created in Sudan since 1968 for like 12 camps of Eritrean refugees, which are still at the border of east of Sudan, and it is like a regional dispositive of camps. We have created its proper economical effect on the region. Very old and huge camps are the camps of internal displaced persons around in the suburb of Khartoum. Still now, you have at least 1 million of persons in the suburb of Khartoum who are considered living in IDP camps. Although you cannot say exactly if it is a camp or an urban neighborhood, but administratively they are considered like camps. Among the very old camps in the world, there are also in Algeria, the Sahrawi camps, in the region of Tindouf, which are a very interesting place for Palestinian people to learn with or to think with, because it is in Tindouf and it's in these camps that the political project of the Sahrawi Republic is born, among the refugee people and inside the camp. And you have the very important situation since 1984 of the Karen camp in people from Birmania and established in Thailand near the border. Many camps are there. One of them is the main one. The main one is called Maila, and there is some 40 or 50 people living there. Among the very old camps, you must take in account also Afghan camps in Pakistan. And there is also, and I'll conclude with this, there is very peculiar situation. There is many peculiar situations, and situations which are near to Eastern Europe mainly. Perhaps you don't know, but there is a refugee camp in France. It's the camp of Saint-Livrade. It was a camp created in 1956 for refugee people from Indochina. And they were transferred from Indochina, in so-called Indochina, to France. And they lived in the camp, and still now the camp is existing, and there is all people continuing to live in the camp with the ID of refugee. The Lampedusa, of course, and all the centers of reception, selection, exclusion of foreigners in Europe, and other kind of groupment, camp and encampment like this. There is really also in Europe. Then that's the project. I've been a bit long, excuse me, but that's the project. It is still in elaboration, and in the final Palestinian camp will be among dozens and dozens of camps in the world. Thank you.
Thank you.